Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and this one is a bit of a personal life story thing and how I am achieving my goals by these step-by-step sort of things. Well, when I say achieving my goals, I mean I'm going to try to achieve them. There's no guarantee that these will work, but these have worked for other people in the past, so hopefully these will work for me as well. Okay, so a bit of a backstory. When I was young, I got diagnosed with high functional autism, so I went to specialist schools that dealt with children that had these sort of conditions and also learning disabilities as well. Yeah, so I went through school life just like being just any other normal child. Well, I say normal, but just being a child, you know. When I turned 16, I went straight to Tottenham College, at my local college, and I think that when I look at it now, I probably would have done things a lot more different than what I thought. So when I first got to college, they put me on a course called Pathway Plus. So it means that I didn't choose my course. They just done like a sort of entry level thing that I'd done a lot of courses all together, and then they saw like I was able to probably have the mental capacity to do other courses that I wanted to learn, so they let me choose my own courses after the first year. So in the second year I done media course, so I was learning how to work the cameras, henceforth this, and just different camera angles on how like the whole film and TV industry works. The thing is, I know it was helpful advice, but it was less practical than I like it was, and also the software they were using was really basic. So I left that course after that year because I had a feeling that they weren't going to give me anything else to offer afterwards. For the last 2 years I spent at college, I'd done an acting course. Let's be fair, I did enjoy it because it was a lot of fun just messing about and just like doing the productions for the courses and everything like that. Like I said, I think in those 4 years I was at college, it could have been spent better doing something else, and I'll explain why later. So, age 20, I finished college, and now it's time I had to get a job. At this point I wanted to be an actor, so I didn't want a full-time job, okay? So I just wanted a part-time job, and I got that job from my local co-op store. Yeah, they gave me a place there. I did really enjoy it there. I enjoyed some of the customers. Of course you have some of those customers that weren't so friendly. I also enjoyed working with the people there, just because they were a good laugh, they were. I did manage to get some film roles for other student projects, but the thing is, like, they were technically free. They were. When I say free, that means I'd done it unpaid, or the expenses were paid, so I never got paid personally. And with some of the jobs that said there were expenses paid, they never paid a penny. I had to pay for my own transportation, my own food, even though on the job adverts they said they would pay for it. So I just decided, like, you're taking a mick, I ain't doing it anymore. I was left the acting industry, and I was still at the local co-op. Then I was there for about 2 years before I decided, like, my time could be spent better if I got a full-time job. Let's be fair, co-op does offer full-time jobs, but the fact is that you more likely had to be a store manager or something like that, one of the higher up sort of things. They won't give it to any of the floor management team or cashiers. Yeah, so after 2 years there, I started looking for another place to work. I heard back from one of my local businesses that's on the industrial estate, and they offered me the job later that day that I went for the interview. So what they done was, when I wasn't working at co-op, they got me in for a little bit when I wasn't working, just so I can be trained up for when I did get there, I'd be more recognised about that, which I did actually appreciate because it was really helpful at the end of the day. Then it came the time when I had to hand in my uniform at co-op and spend full time at my new job. Yeah, it was all good, but I wasn't even there a year. Just after Christmas, the owner of the place came in and just said that the company's gone bankrupt. And apparently he knew about it before I even started working there. Why the hell would you hire someone when you knew that the company wasn't on good ground? So yeah, I was there for like 7 months or 8 months, something like that. Wasn't there a whole year, and yet I was jobless again. Luckily, there was a place that had an opening, and I knew some of the people there. They managed to get me in the very next day, so literally I didn't lose any hours of payment. So literally, I got laid off one day, then the very next day I went into full-time work again. And that's the place I'm still working at right now. I've been there for about 4 years now. I've recently been promoted to team leader on my floor. So, which is really great, because like it does mean I get a lot more responsibility, and this gives me a bit more opportunities within this role. Yeah, and everything was going good for the first few years, but then something dawned on me. I told you this bit when on my video when it says I'm back, but something dawned on me a couple of weeks before my 25th or 26th birthday, one of those birthdays. I just woke up one Saturday morning and I just laid in bed for a few hours, wide awake, not moving an inch, just thinking to myself, what am I doing with my life? Because I was spending money like here and there, having only a little bit left over in the account just so I can spend money again here and there. I was thinking, at the end of the day, I do not know what I'm gonna do when I'm like at retirement age. All the houses in my area and around the area were so expensive that I just couldn't see how I could afford even owning a property. It just seemed like something out of my hands that felt like I could never reach. But then I had a thought. There have been people that have been in my exact same situation that started from nothing and somehow built up companies that made billions or trillions, where they're able to say goodbye full-time work, I'm going solo right now, and they never have to work again for their entire life. That got me thinking, how did they do it? That's when, after I had that thought, I just looked on my phone and actually looked up on YouTube videos and like how they did it. During my search, I actually came across someone that actually explained a lot of things in a very simplistic way. That way, like, it wasn't too confusing. It's something that I could actually understand. The YouTube channel I'm talking about is called Mark Tilbury. He's a guy that even before school, he was ready to make money. Yeah, he explains how he fished for trout and everything like that, and he sold them for £1 with 5 fish. And after when he left school, he went straight into, well, he didn't go straight into full-time employment. He had an apprenticeship, so he got paid while he learnt another skill. But then he did explain that during one of his projects, he met a guy that had multiple income streams. That's why he was able to live off those streams and never have to work again in his life. Once he found all about that, he started opening up multiple income streams. He had a side hustle, he started investing, he started saving up for real estate, he started thinking about business scales, he literally thought about 5 things all at once, just so he can have the same lifestyle as that other guy. And the way he explained in his videos is like, I can do this. I can have that lifestyle. That is really one of the best ways I could describe it. Like, he does explain things a lot more better than some of the other YouTubers. So that Saturday morning, when I found his videos and his channels, which by the way I am subscribed to, that morning I started planning out my financial future. Before I continue on, I just want to remind everyone that I'm not a trained financial advisor. I would not recommend someone doing this all at once without doing proper research on it. Okay, do your research and come to the conclusion that you want to do this before doing anything hasty. So yeah, he had a plan and now I've got a plan. So here's my plan. Step 1. Pay off all my debts. So back when I first started YouTube a year or two ago, I actually had massive debt, and most of this stuff here, and even this very camera here, I didn't pay for everything straight away. I did bit by bit, okay? But that was my first thing I thought I had to get rid of. I had to get rid of all my bad debts quickly and fast. I know as I've said that, I know that's the same thing. But no, before I can actually properly start thinking about what I want to do with my money, I had to get everything that was eating away my money and not giving anything back. See, the thing is, like, when I want debt, I want to have good debt instead of bad debt. Bad debt is what takes money out of your pocket, but good debt is money you still borrow, but you get that money back into your pocket. So for example, let's talk about a mortgage. So say you bought a house and you live in it. That's money coming out of your pocket. Okay? Yeah, it might be worth more in the future, but yeah, this is money that's coming out of your pocket right now, and you're not seeing it coming back. But then let's say if you bought a house and you rent it out to somebody else. Their rent is the good debt that's coming into your pocket, and that's paying off the entirety of your mortgage and giving you some money left over at the end of the month. That's the difference between bad debt and good debt. So in the future, you want to try and get good debt instead of bad debt. Step 2, my savings account. So I was actually doing my savings account at the same time as I was paying off my debt. But you need to have money in your savings account just in case of emergencies. Okay, so most financial YouTubers would recommend they have 3 to 6 months worth of your living expenses in the savings account. Okay, and I do actually have to agree, because like that seems like a good amount of money that if you are laid off or you're just going to leave work for a while, that's a good enough money to keep you going for a little while before you have to start looking again. But hopefully if you get laid off, you start looking for work again straight away. You won't waste a second just lazing about. But I know what you're saying, but why don't you just save everything in your bank account though? That's a good argument, but yeah, at the same time, that's the slowest way to grow your money. That money in your bank account, in your savings account, is there just for emergencies only. That's how I see it. Those are my reserve cash. Okay, I will not go into that bank account unless I absolutely have to. So let's say if I have to pay an MOT off for my car, I will dip into that account and give it to the mechanic. But then if my funds start to get too low, I will start putting more money into the bank account than anywhere else. Okay, because that one's got top priority when it gets too low. But then you're asking, where am I putting my other money if it's not going straight in my bank account? My next step, invest in assets. Truthfully, I was actually paying off my debt, saving and investing at the same time. But that's because I live with my parents and rent's really cheap. Also, that's a personal tip. If you have the opportunity, stay with your parents as long as possible, as that is the cheapest rent you will ever have in your life. I do mean that. That's the cheapest rent you will ever have in your life. But let's get back to investing in assets. So yeah, like I said again, I'm paying off my debt, saving and investing at the same time. But to me, that doesn't seem natural to me because I'm normally really good with handling my money. But what was I investing in? Well, first off, I actually got into cryptocurrency because that was the all the rage that everyone's going on about. So I put a little bit of money into that. Yeah, I mean, like, it was growing for a little while, but as everyone knows, recently it's taken a bit of a tumble. But luckily I didn't put too much money into that, so I still have got money in there. So when it comes back up, the money's just there. I haven't lost anything at that point. I mean, coin-wise, not money-wise. But when it goes back up, I have more money in that currency at that point. But then I looked in getting into the stock market as well. I thought it would be a lot more harder to get into it, but it's actually really easy. Because like you've got apps and websites that make it so much accessible in order to being back in 1970 or something like that. But yeah, I've got money in a lot of places right now. So I'm part owner of Amazon, Tesla, Facebook, McDonald's, Coca-Cola. There's a lot of companies I've invested in. Well, when I say they're making good return, I mean at the moment all the British companies and British funds are not doing so well just because of the current economic crisis. But the American ones are skyrocketing at the moment, so that's a good sign, that is. But that is the thing. If there's ever economic crisis, you will see a dip in the stock market. And you're probably asking yourself, is that the time to take your money out? Absolutely not. If anything, that is the time where you put more money in that bit. Just because this will be the lowest prices you will ever get. So you're able to buy more stock of that company, and when it rises back up, you see a lot more money in your account, much more than you invested in. Okay, so take this for example. Okay, so say like a company was worth £1 and I fished £1. That means that if ever a company was up to £2, I'd have an extra pound, so that'd be £2 as well. Or if it goes down 50p, that means my one would go down to 50p. So basically, at that point I have one full stock and it just keeps in line with the prices. But then to say, before I brought into that company, there was a sudden dip and the company's worth 25p. Yeah, but then I still paid £1 in. That means I have 4 whole shares for the stock. So that would mean when the stock rises back up to £1, I would gain £4 at that point. But then again, same thing goes the other way. So let's say like the company lost a penny. That means they'll take 4 pence out of my account. Okay, it's a bit of give and take. So like, if you're a person that can't take losing money, then I'd say just try to do something else, because like you're not gonna have the nerves to handle the stock market if you're really worried about money. Also, there's physical assets as well, because as you saw in my previous video, I have my Pokemon cards that have been graded. So yeah, these are called long-term assets. Well, all assets should be long-term, so you should never buy assets that's only for a year or two. You should have them like really grow in years, okay? Because if you just do it short term, there's no point of you doing it. But yeah, I've graded my Pokemon cards. They're only going to get growing value over the years. Even just a little will be a lot of help. I even collect the Pokemon booster boxes. I currently have 4 right now. And they're all in protective acrylic cases, so they don't get damaged. So when I go to resell them or open them later on, they'll be in pristine condition. I also collect comic books as well. I haven't sent any to grading yet, but I am planning to later on in the month. That's because it's gotta be sent over to America to get graded. For some reason there's no grading company over here in the UK that does it, which is really rubbish. Because I'd rather keep everything over the UK that get graded than send over overseas, because I don't know how long that would take. Okay, step 4. Side hustle / business. The thing is, like, you can be financially free by doing one job, but yeah, you're going to take a really long time just to do that. But if you have a side hustle, or just like a scalable business, you can actually reach that goal a lot more faster. So side hustles are just like the odd bits of jobs that people might not want to do. So you might be a dog walker, a window cleaner, a photographer. Now that said about photographer, I actually do a bit of photography on the side, and people do know that my services are for hire at the moment, but I'm not getting that much interest, which doesn't surprise me, because in this modern age, anyone can be a photographer. But yeah, photography is a hard market to get into because of the phones that have cameras on them, so anyone can take pictures. But if you can market it right, then you can turn it into a small scale business just from that side hustle. Yeah, but right now I'm doing photography as a hobby at the moment. I'm actually looking into making candles at the moment as a possible side hustle, or maybe a full-time business as well. But then there's other ways you can earn money. So you could do affiliate marketing, and even TikTok or YouTube or Instagram or any other social medias that you can get a huge following on. Yeah, it's no surprise that you can earn money from YouTube. That's like, you see all these people that actually do YouTube videos full time. That's because like they get paid for showing ads on their videos, and also get brand deals as well. And they cost a lot of money. Well, not YouTube videos with ads, because it all depends on the subscriber count and how much people watch your videos. And then with TikTok, it also depends like how much followers you have and what sort of brand deals you do. Because on TikTok the other day, I literally had the opportunity to open another account called the TikTok Shop Creator account, and that way I can show products in my videos, link their location. If a customer buys a product through my video, I actually do get a percentage of that sale. So yeah, I signed up, so you do see the link on my video. If you buy something from there, I'll get a little bit of that money my way. So yeah, anything could be a side hustle or business. if you have the mentality for it, and if you have the drive for it as well. Okay, and the next step that I haven't done yet, but I'm planning to at some point, and it's probably going to be the hardest one I do, get into real estate. So like I mentioned the mortgage before, that's a way to get into real estate, because you can use that mortgage to buy a house and do some refurbishment as well if there's any money left over. But yet, to get a mortgage or some other sort of borrowing payment like that, you need to have a really big cash deposit to pay down for that mortgage. But yeah, if I get a mortgage and I'll buy a place, I'm more likely just going to rent it out to somebody else instead of living in it. Because out of all this time, I'm just thinking about what's going to be best for me when I get older. Because it ain't going to be good if I get older and I'm just living in one place that's not earning me money when I'm not working. No, it is not. And the fact is, like, if I didn't have stuff that is giving me more money, there wouldn't be anything left over to hand over to my kids for when I go. So yeah, that's basically it, man. I'm most probably going to be renting out the house instead of living in it. I am planning to get a place for myself at some point, but that's when I have enough money on the side where all the money that's coming in from the other people would be able to cover my mortgage as well. Yeah, I don't know when I have money, if I would leave work straight away, because I want to be sure I do have some extra money coming in just in case something goes wrong. But I'm telling you guys right now, it is possible to have this sort of lifestyle. You just need to have mentality for it. You need to have drive for it. You need to have the right approach to it. So here we go, guys. I'm 28 right now, and I think I can get all this done by the time I'm 45. That is my current goal. I want to get out of work financially free by the age of 45. It doesn't matter if I do it sooner or later. That's my target age, because that'll still be an age where I'll still be able to enjoy the finer things in life. Because if I don't, my retirement age is 68. I will be too old to do a lot of stuff that I still want to do in life. Because like literally, once you reach retirement age, you're literally limited about what you can do. That's the whole thing. And like I said, I want to enjoy life that I have no restraints against me. Just saying like I've got to be work the next day. I just want to enjoy life as it is at some point. I know this isn't the normal sort of video that I normally do, like now or even before, back when I started YouTube. But yeah, I felt like this is a video that I had to do just because I wanted to let people be inspired, or even have this sort of idea of what I'm going through, just so they might be able to do the same thing for themselves. And saying, if you are interested, my one advice would be to start planning out your finance. Okay, so just start looking at what you can give up. And when I say what you can give up, I mean just like stuff, the things you don't necessarily need or that you don't use usually. So the first thing you look at is that you find out what makes you truly happy. A lot of people don't know this, but I actually do find joy in spending time by myself, because that's when I actually come up with some of my ideas for these sort of businesses or ideas for videos. It's just like, I do enjoy company with other people, but yet these times for myself are even more productive for me, just because it gives me a clear head and gives me fresh ideas about what I can do next. And also the things like you think you can give up. So, do you think you can give up getting a takeaway every night? Because they will save you so much money. Then ask yourself this: can you give up time to go into the pub? Because I tell you what, you save so much money just getting beer from your local shop and just drinking at home. Okay, I do get if you do enjoy going down there. Okay, still go for it if it actually does truly make you happy. All I'm just saying is, have a good look about where your money's going, and see if you still want that money to go to that place, or if you want to be spent better somewhere else. Right guys, like I said before, it's not my usual video, but it's something that I thought I had to do, just because I wanted to inspire people to have a better future. I do these videos because I like to entertain people, but because it also gives me a creative outlet of when I get ideas, I need to get them out. Also, like when I do my TikTok videos as well, like it's just a creative outlet, because I just hear sound and I just think of something that might make it funny and everything like that.
Row, row, row your punt gently down the stream. Belts off, trousers down, isn't life a scream?
Right guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, this probably just be a one-time thing. All videos be like lifestyle, comedy, everything like that from now on. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, and also if you enjoy the channel at the moment with the 3 videos that's up at the moment, just hit the subscribe button, as every follower counts towards my goal of being financially free at 45. Okay guys, hope to see you soon, and I'll see you later.